Hello, hello, and welcome to today's live conversation. I'm so excited to have you all here for today's live conversation with one of our speakers from the Women Thrive Summit, Lauren Penny. Hi, Lauren.
Hello, Ramonda. How are you?
I'm very good. Where are you joining from?
I'm joining from Australia in Queensland.
Oh, I
Uh,
love that. I love
yeah.
that. We're going to be having great conversation here today. Lots to cover. Today we're talking about sponsorships unlocked, the secret revenue streams to your events. And I want to introduce my wonderful speaker today. So if you haven't met yet, Lauren Penny is monetization and events expert and the founder of Branched Out. She brings more than 22 years of worldly experience having planned and executed mega events around the world such as FIFA World Cup, London Olympics, G20 Leaders Summit, and many more amazing events. She owns and operates two events businesses, and she has worked on events from mega boutique to online and in-person events. And in 2023, both of her businesses got the finalist uh, award from Business Beam Awards. And women currently, Lauren works with women coaches and service providers earning multiple 6 to 7 figure businesses with a repeatable strategy for using for in-person events and creating multiple revenue streams. Lauren, good to have you here. This is such a juicy conversation, especially for those who are running events.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I love being able to talk into this because I think sometimes, events it can either be seen to be too scary or but people don't know the power of event, because really to have all of your audience in one room, and so you can feel, to be in the room together, there's just so much transformation can happen when you're in the room. And I know COVID, there was, it changed the landscape for that time, but there's really a resurgence of in-person events. People want that shoulder to shoulder communication, to be in contact with each other, because there's really nothing like being in the room, as well as, if we can't be in the room, then being in a virtual setting, so that we can really learn from each other and experience what everyone has to share.
Yeah, and Lauren, this is such a great topic today because I think many people are thinking, okay, how can I get my business in front of more people? How can I gather a community? I always get asked these questions. How do I market myself? How do I create community? And something that a lot of people overlook is events, whether it's virtual or in-person events. And from my own experience, I know that the power of events has been it's been the result of us growing our global community. So tell me a little bit more about why you're so passionate about events and how you actually even got started in this.
Yes, thank you, Rwanda. I think with the power of events is really everyone's there for the same common goal, and that's the power
Mm.
of that. So when you have an audience, a community, you can really share each other's knowledge, and it's just that power of being together. I first came into the world of events. My mother said to me when I was in school, do something that you love doing. Choose a work, a career, something that you love, so you'd never feel like you're working again. And that's always stuck to me. And so I first went into the world of events through sports. And through the power of sports, it was all around creating a platform so that the athlete can deliver at their best, so that they can perform at their best. And so, being part of the organizing team, we wanted to ensure that the field is ready for the best performance of that athlete. And it's the same for business. That's what the driving force around ensuring that the business host has the platform to be able to connect with their audience, to be on stage with confidence, because their confidence is what matters. And we make sure that everything else around is all taken care of. And so, really, the host is there to be able to confidently stand on stage and also confidently be able to network and really build relationships, whether it's meeting people for the first time or whether it's deepening a relationship with those that are in the room. So I've been working in the event space ultimately since university. I studied the power of events. I studied through the Bachelor of Commerce, and it was through then the sporting area. So that's where you commented on a few of the major events that I'd worked on. And so working on these major events is phenomenal. FIFA World Cup, London Olympics, Commonwealth Games, G20 Leader Summit, and so on. And now I know that it's phenomenal to work on these powerful events and to work on them for a number of years. And it's amazing to see. Along my journey, I discovered there are extraordinary businesswomen that have extraordinary missions, and that through their knowledge, through what they can share with their community, with their clients, they can have a transformational impact. And so that's what brought me to Branched Out, being so passionate around creating an environment, creating events for businesswomen to be able to showcase their skills and perform at their best, just like I did for the athletes. It's the same now for the businesswoman to be confidently perform at her best.
Wow, amazing. It's mind-blowing, the experience, and I want to dive into so many things, but just for our audience watching right now, what kind of events work the best for, let's say, our experts, entrepreneurs, authors, speakers to host? What have you seen works the best in the industry?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. There's probably 3 types of events. One being a lead generation event, where you would host an event where you may not be making a profit at that event, but it's all around bringing the community together. So you're bringing in the clientele, and then through the connections, then that's the lead generation, the relationship building, and then that can then transform into growing the business. So there's one type of event. And then another type of event is what I call a product itself. So individuals come to your event because of your individual product. They're going to have a result from that. So if you're a marketing expert or if you're a holistic practitioner, they're going to receive an outcome from that product itself, from attending. And then through the product itself, they're going to learn and transform. And then what I see the power of is that then you have an opportunity to provide them also with the next step. They may then have a next step of working with you. You may then have another coaching program that advances on that skill that everyone came together to learn for that product itself. So that's the second type, which I see being the most powerful in terms of business growth. And then for some business owners, they also may have, for example, a membership base. So now you have a really strong community, a membership base. So now you might host what I call a nurturing style. So it might be hosting a retreat inside of your 12-month coaching program. So it's more of a nurturing style. So it's more of a value add. And but then the value of that is that it boosts the value of that 12-month container that you as a coach have rolled out. So there's the 3 types: lead generation, product itself, or a nurture style.
Yeah, amazing. It's so clear as well. And when people are thinking, because a lot of times, especially entrepreneurs, we're so passionate about what we do, we're so visionary, but we don't think about how does that strategically fit with my business strategy? What is the purpose? And every time we start with hosting an event, I look at what is the purpose for the
Yes.
attendees, and also what are our goals as a business, because
Yes.
events take a lot of time and effort to create. They're magical. Truly, they are magical. And I
Yes.
absolutely adore events. And sometimes on a whim, I'm like, I want to do an event there. But then you have to do the strategy work, because without the strategy, it's a nice thing to do, but it may not serve you the best in your business, right?
100%. And it's, knowing the purpose. And then it's also looking at, well, what is the budget for that event? And because that's going to help you make decisions. Because, for example, like the lead generation event, you might want to host an event, or lead generation event could be a networking event. You may not be making money specifically from that event, but it's about that relationship building. And when you look at the strategy, and I always recommend running a budget to an event, because it'll also help you make a decision. You know, it can help you whether it's going to be ran at a loss, which isn't a problem because that might have been your purpose. So I know a lot of people may have asked you, Ray. I know a lot of people ask myself, you know, oh, how much is an event going to cost?
How
Well,
long is a piece of string?
exactly my answer.
You can run it into
Exactly
like
my answer.
thousands. Or, you know, when I started events, not gonna lie, they were really cheap events. I had
Yes.
like barely like £500 budget, and that was a lot for me at the start. And now when I think about £500, it would barely scratch the surface. I'm more looking at 5 grand.
Yes. Totally. And that's
You
the
know?
thing. It could be anything, and there's different purposes. So
Mm.
running a loss is actually a good thing because you've gained potential leads, or running it, you know, so running events is so powerful. And I think it's coming back to like what you said, what's the strategy behind it? What's the purpose of it? Because that's going to drive the decision
Yeah.
of why you're hosting the event. And it's similar to a country. I'm going to take you on a little journey here. Similar to a country running an event. Why doesn't a country run an Olympic Games? Why does the country run a FIFA World Cup? Well, it's because of business growth. It's because of the economical growth of the country. They want to have a spotlight on the country. They want to boost tourism. They want to boost employment. They want to boost infrastructure. Same as events for your business. And it's now just understanding what is the purpose of that event. And so an event is so powerful when you look at it from a business growth strategic perspective with the lens of that.
Yeah. It's mind blowing. Honestly, this thing, and what I love that you speak about, and this is what you're going to be speaking about during the Women Thrive Summit, which is the invisible revenue source when it comes to events. And I love how you say invisible, because truly, for many years, we've run events, and not because lack of desire or know how, it was actually lack of time and resources to tap into this invisible source of revenue. Tell us a little bit more about this invisible source of revenue that you talk about.
Yeah. So the invisible revenue is looking at, a lot of people do when you're running events, looking at the revenue stream, which is ticket sales. And there could also be capital from your own business. But the third is the invisible revenue of sponsorships, because what you're doing is you're creating your own product, which has an audience, and you also have what I call sellable assets. And so now it's about diving into, well, what are your sellable assets that can benefit another company? And it's all around then facilitating, you're now creating an opportunity to facilitate a connection between a buyer and a seller. So it's identifying a sponsor that has the same target market as your event, but offering a different product or service. And so that company, you're presenting to them a marketing strategy. You're presenting to them an audience that is their audience. That audience may not have been present or exposed to them before. And so you're literally presenting to them, hey, we have an event, or we have a community. This is the size. This is who they are. It's the same target market that you have. So therefore, we'll be able to create sponsorship opportunities, exposure opportunities. And what I like to look at, really creating experiences, because it's more than just a logo. Having logos everywhere, it's more than that. We want to know about you. We want to know about the company. We want to know about the brand values. We want to know around who is this brand? What are the services? We want to know more about that. So it's about then creating these experiences that then magically they also benefit the event. And so it's a real win-win opportunity here. And that's why I call it invisible, because I see that it's most commonly an untapped space. And it can also look at it from a monetary as also a non-monetary, because sponsorships can also be in kind. value in kind. So, for example, I'm running an event at the moment, and the sponsor is sponsoring because they're providing the venue free of charge. Well, that's going to be a line item. That's an expense. So therefore, there's a package for a sponsorship because they're providing the venue. Then they will receive benefits because it's the same audience. So that's where I would encourage, for those that are listening, for you listening, you can think about not only just monetary, but also what are some of your expenses that, particularly if you're starting out in events, how can you partner up with other companies that already have that product, such as a venue, a boardroom, meeting rooms, conference spaces, beautiful reception areas. We've hosted events in shoe shops. Okay, cocktail functions in a shoe shop. And then of course everyone's going to be looking at the shoes. Of course, win-win.
Lauren, stop, because you were giving so many ideas. I'm like,
beautiful. So we're going to see an event in a shoe shop. So imagine champagne, hors d'oeuvres, speeches, and then everyone then can go have a look at the clothing. You can have fashion designers, you can have makeup artists. There's so many things then that's what I mean. It's invisible because it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. We just need to be able to look at it in a different way. It's just about uncovering. That's why I find it so fascinating, because when we can dive into these conversations, and it's all about having a conversation, where are you? Who's your audience? What's your objectives? What's your purpose? What are your sellable assets? What would you like to be able to sell? Where also don't you want to sell? Because there's also a limit, not a limit. There's also boundaries around what you want to offer as well. And who can be your partners? Let's start brainstorming and say,
Oh, stop it. You just getting my blood excited right now, and you're gonna spin me out into creating all these events and
love it.
So magical. Lauren, I've listened to your workshops before talking about this topic, and I've learned heaps, honestly. You're also actually someone who's working within our organization now, as a consultant on events and also the sponsorships, which I'm truly honored and grateful for, because you're doing such an amazing job building partnerships that is really supporting our mission. That's what it's really about. You have a mission, you have a vision, you want to bring events to life, you want to impact more people. But what you can remember is that there are other organizations who may be aligned to your vision and your purpose, and they want to reach your audience. They want to support the same ethos. And that's what you have been doing, helping us do, building those beautiful relationships and bringing in that invisible revenue that a lot of the times as a business founder, I have not been able to tap into because lack of time, lack of ability to really focus on that. And having someone like yourself supporting that area, it's just invaluable for us right now.
Oh, thank you very much. That's really kind. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure to be working for Women Thrive and to be able to, have these conversations. And that's what it's all about, having the conversations and start to explore some of these untapped and invisible spaces that we can start to explore. And knowing a lot of your event partners that are supporting in communication. Again, it's around that, same missions, same audiences, everyone's offering different products and services, but on the same mission. And that's what's beautiful. Everyone's coming together to really transform and change and support each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Lauren, this is one of the topics that you'll be talking at the Women Thrive Summit happening 18th to 22nd of March. Tell us what people can expect from your talk.
Yes, so I will be talking around the invisible revenue, and this will be held on Thursday, the 21st of March at 9 a.m. GMT. And I'm going to be exploring how you can start exploring things like the benefits of sponsorships from a monetary and also a non-monetary perspective. Exploring the strategy around this in terms of looking at an event and starting to look at how can you generate income before you launch, because there can be a lot of stress and anxiety built when you're launching an event. However, when we step back and we look at sponsorships first, it means that you can actually cover your upfront event costs, like your venue deposit or your speaker down payments to secure your headline speakers, as well as securing some headline sponsorship, so that when you launch with impact.
Yeah.
It is created, and also that financially there is it's covered as well. You're not just relying purely on the single tickets. There's a lot of value that you've created. So I'm going to be unpacking these areas around also sponsorships, the visibility, and so really just inviting you to the audience to explore where they could possibly look at sponsorships in their business, primarily through that business growth of future events that you could be hosting.
Amazing. Well, to all of you watching this right now, you already heard from Lauren the incredible value and a ton of ideas that you will be walking away from her talk. Like I said, I have watched some of Lauren's past workshops, and it's just been truly invaluable. And I'm really excited to have this live session actually that you get to join and learn all about event organization planning and sponsorships unlocked. So head over to womenthrivesummit.com, register for your free spot, be there live, soak up all of this inspiration. If you want to also get more benefits and access to some of our speakers and some of their coaching packages that they have, you can upgrade your ticket and even have one-on-one coaching sessions with our amazing experts. And Lauren will also be adding some valuable gifts to our paid ticket attendees. Lauren, thank you so much. How do people get in touch with you if they wanted to find out a little bit more about what you're doing?
Yes, well, you're both welcome through the Women Thrive Summit. There is an opportunity that you can download the 5 top sponsorship mistakes that I've seen in the industry. So that can also help generate. So you can go to branchedout.com and register there, as well as on the Women Thrive Summit. When you sign up for your ticket, when you go to my speaker page, you'll be able to see the download, which is a free download on the 5 top sponsorship mistakes. So that really it's just to eliminate some of the costly mistakes that I've seen, both cost in time financially and also in time. So other than that, you're welcome to please visit my website, www.branchedout.com.
Beautiful. Yeah. So if you are interested in connecting a little bit more with Lauren, maybe having a conversation with her, maybe you're planning an event, maybe this conversation alone has sparked an interest in you to pursuing an event and talking about one of the 3 key major events that are serving your business, make sure you reach out to Lauren, have this conversation, because I can personally say she has been the best person to work with, and super, super grateful for everything that you do. It has taken a lot of pressure off me personally to have you handling this area of our business.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for watching today. Really appreciate your time and effort to be here. Make sure you share this live conversation with your audience, because you never know who may be needing to hear this information right now. And we'll look forward to seeing you at the Women Thrive Summit next week. Take care for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.